Welcome to the kingdom, guys. So this is episode 11 of Royal Vision Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Matthew. We got another very special guest today. He's a baseball player out of Spring Mills High School, and he plays for Post 60 Legion team as well. He's been playing varsity for the last 3 years, originally from Falling Waters. Made first team All-EPAC his junior year and All-State mention during his junior year, both while only playing half the season due to injury. He just recently committed to Fairmont State University, and he'll be pitching against Hedgesville this upcoming Friday, May 2nd. So without further ado, give it up for Jacob Cumley. Good stuff. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Good. Glad to have you on here.
I'm excited.
So how long have you been playing baseball?
I started when I was 3 or 4, so 14, 13 years now.
Okay. Now, what was your feeder team? Was it Hedgesville or did you play somewhere else?
I played in Hedgesville.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what drew you to baseball?
Well, my mom, she played softball when she was in high school. She was All-EPAC Player of the Year. She was a really good pitcher. She hurt herself, then she's a vet now. She played in college. She's been playing her whole life, and she just put me in baseball. Put me in every sport, but baseball's the one that sticked.
All right. So your mom's from the area. Would you go to Hedgesville or something like
She
that?
went to Musselman.
Musselman? Okay. Is that kind of conflicting a little bit? I know
Yeah,
Musselman
a little
tends
bit.
to be a little...
Like the rest of my family's in Musselman.
Okay.
So when they're always at the games, they're cheering for us to lose, but me to do good.
Man, at least they're there. At least they're there.
Yeah.
What do you feel like... What first drew you to baseball? What was like that moment was like, this is my sport?
When I was little, I was a pretty athletic kid. So I just liked, because I would do really good against the other little kids. So it was just the best sport I was best at. So it was most fun to me.
Because you are tall, so like you think like basketball, but did that just never mesh?
No, I played basketball in rec league when I was like 12 or something, but I was benched the whole time. So I didn't have much fun.
You got your 2 quarters and then you just, come on, Mom, like it's time to go. We got you. So with baseball, yeah, it's got a slower pace.
Yeah.
But you do pitch, so you're able to control the tempo. But what about that pace do you like?
I guess all my life I've been like a shortstop, third baseman.
Okay.
And it's just unpredictable, and I just like that about it. Like any second, it could be a quick play you have to make, or you could sit out there for the whole game, not get a single ball. I just like the unpredictability of it.
Okay, not being able to know what's coming next. It's just you're out there, you know you're going to do well. It's just what's going to happen.
You just got to leave it up into the hands of fate.
So with pitching, what about when did you start pitching?
I didn't really start pitching that much until really freshman, sophomore year.
Okay.
So I've always been more of a hitter and fielder first.
So when you translated to pitching, what was it that kind of made you that go-to guy as a pitcher?
I just grew a lot. Like freshman year, I walked in. I was a big, good contact hitter. I was like 5 foot, 115 pounds. But then sophomore year, I started growing a bit. Junior year, I had a big growth spurt, and then I just started throwing hard. And I figured I might as well pitch now. And I gave it a try, and then it was super fun. So then I just really focused all my attention to that.
So with pitching, what do you feel is the biggest difference between being a pitcher and then just being a typical like utility or field guy?
You just have more control of the game, and I love that. Like, I get a chance to play every single pitch, every at-batter, and it's just the most, like that and catcher, you just get the most action. It's most fun to me.
So you're like always engaged.
Yeah.
I got you. What were some of the defining moments earlier in your career that shaped your mindset?
When I had a coach, Mark Smith, he taught me how to pitch, and he really helped my mindset. I had a big attitude problem when I was little, and he helped me with that, and just understand that I'm going to fail, and that's okay. But just try and have most fun as I can.
So was there like a moment early in your career where you felt like you were consistently failing, but you didn't let that stop you?
Yeah, I guess so. Like my first year in Little League, I thought the coach hated me because I didn't play, but I just wasn't that good. And then I learned from that, and then I go out the next year and have fun and I do better.
So most kids, if they're not playing, they'll either quit or they'll just sit around and they'll complain.
Yeah.
What was the deciding factor for you that was like, you know what, I'm going to just show up and try and get better?
My mom. She made me. She wouldn't let me quit. My parents are big on, if you sign up for something, you have to do it, even if you don't like it. And then she told me, if I want to play another year, go ahead. And if I don't, then I don't have to. But I decided to sign up again, and then it's been going good ever since.
Now, when you were playing Little League, did you ever make an all-star team? I know that's the big thing down there.
Yeah. I went up when I was like 9 in Little League, but I didn't make it that year. But I made it the other three years when I was 10, 11, 12 year.
Okay. What was it like playing All-Stars? I know, you get that chance to potentially play in the Little League World Series, which is every kid's dream.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I remember my 11 year, that's when we were pretty good, and we got to like the regional. We ended up losing, but it was really fun. Every game felt like it was like the World Series. Every game felt so huge. It was so important, and losing, it sucked, but
Yeah.
I forgot about the next week. I was 12.
Who'd you guys end up losing to?
I think Jefferson. I remember because I think it was Surf hit 2 home runs or something.
Oh, so you've been consistently playing against Surf for a while.
No, it was just like then and now, because he played up because he was super good, and then now in high school I played against him.
Now, you said Mark Smith. Is that Donovan Smith's
Yeah,
dad?
that's his dad.
So you played on, the Orioles?
Yeah, I played on the Orioles with them.
Okay. Because I've known Mark for a while. That's cool. So how do you feel like your upbringing or your environment influenced your mindset and your approach to competition?
Can you explain it a little more?
Like the external factors, the way you were raised, how do you feel like that influenced your approach to competition and how you go about adversity?
I've always been a real perfectionist because my dad, especially, whenever he wants me to do something like mow the grass or do chores around the house, he wants it done right the first time. So I'm a real perfectionist when it comes to pitching, and I really want to do as good as I can. But my mom teaches me to keep a level head and just have fun. And that's my mindset. I want to do as good as I can, but at the end of the day, I got to have the belief in myself that I'm not just my results. You know?
Was there a time where you used to just strictly focus on the results?
Yeah, last year a lot. Every game, like first game against Martinsburg, we lost. I did pretty good, but we still lost. And I was pretty beat up over that for the next week. And then really this year is when I started to really understand how to distance myself and my results and still believe in myself if I do bad. Because I've been struggling more this year with injuries, so it's really grateful. It's helped me really handle adversity and learn how to be a better player.
For sure. Now, I know you talk about injury. You mentioned your back. You mentioned your arm. How do you feel like those injuries benefited you to this point? You're going to play college baseball. You're doing pretty well this year. You got a 2.5 ERA. So
They've helped me. They set me back, definitely. I hurt my arm last year. Then I took 3 months off, went and played in summer. I had a really bad season. I was throwing hard still, but I was just really didn't have any control. But that taught me, I checked my ego. It really showed me, we played some team from New Jersey, and they hit 2 home runs off me. It really showed me, I'm not as good as I think I am, so I need to just control what I can control. And my back injury, it's helped me, just learn a lot about physical therapy, taking care of my body, first of all, and then pitch with more control and pitch smarter this year. I'm not going out, I'm not throwing as hard as I can every pitch. I have an approach to every at-bat. I have a plan in my head this year, and that's really helped me with that.
So you talk about speed and velocity, but you were also talking about how you didn't really have that control. Have you try to incorporate? How have you incorporated control without sacrificing your velocity?
I'm still trying to figure that out. Most of the time when I try and have more control, it does come with a little bit of loss in velo. But just almost thinking more in the game, not just on cruise control, just have my adrenaline super high. I'm breathing more, thinking about every batter, and then trying to just take it one batter at a time now, instead of worrying about the whole game at the same time, like worrying about my stats.
Oh, like focusing on that at bat. The
Yeah.
next, like my current pitch, my next pitch,
Yeah.
instead of thinking about, oh crap, I got this guy up next, or I got this guy
I
up
would be
next.
like, oh, I only got 6 strikeouts so far. I need 10 plus. But I'm not thinking like that anymore, and I think that's a good thing.
Now, I know something big and rare being a pitcher is the no-hitter. Have you ever thrown a no-hitter?
Against Kaiser this year, I had a perfect game,
Okay.
but someone bunted and made a controversial call, but it was called a hit. It was difficult play, but that would have been my first high school no-hitter perfect game.
Okay.
Last year against Musselman, in the 7th inning, they brought in like a backup hitter, and he got a little bloop single.
Yeah.
Almost had it then. I've got close, but not so far.
Okay. Now, in those moments, 'cause that's a high-pressure moment,
Yeah.
even though you're still in control of that game, kind of walk me through that feeling and your mindset in those situations.
My mindset in a big situation, I feel like that's where I thrive, because that's just where I get the most adrenaline, gets my blood pumping the most. I just always think about dominating the hitter. If it's a big moment, I'm just like, I gotta have the most confidence I can in myself, and just trust that I'm gonna bring my best stuff against his best stuff, and I'm gonna win.
Who do you feel like's the best hitter that you face as a pitcher? Or the top 3?
There's a lot of good hitters in our area, especially this year. I always have trouble striking out Landon Pence.
Okay.
Him, Surf, obviously, he's great. And another Jefferson kid, probably. Alex Danner. Always have trouble striking him out, getting him out. Those are probably my 3 hardest at-bats. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
So let's say Landon Pence steps up to the plate. What's your mindset and what's your approach? Is it the same every time, or does it?
It kind of changes because I've known him since we were little.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. And I really want to strike him out mostly because it's just fun. We're friends. But when I get him at the plate, I know I can't just blow fastballs by him. He's too good of a hitter. So my approach is to make him think. I have to deceive him. Like, I'm going to throw mostly fastballs, but I'm going to try and mix in everything once in a while, try and get him out. Him, I can't really think about striking him out. I got to just focus on making my good pitch and just getting him out overall. He's a really good hitter.
Just hitting your spots, and then whatever happens.
Yeah.
So if I can get him to ground out to second, or okay.
Yeah, I got to accept a normal out, not a glorious strikeout once in a while.
Do you know what's the most amount of strikeouts you've had in a game?
I had 14 in 5 innings versus Hampshire last year.
Okay.
So I only had 1 out that wasn't a strikeout. And then I just had 13 in 5 innings 2 weeks ago. Last year I had 13 or 14 versus Musselman. Yeah, those are the highest ones I've had so far.
So when you're out there and you've got a high strikeout count, you're striking out batters left and right. How do you maintain that composure and that mindset to continue following through with that?
It's just confidence. I just have high confidence in myself, especially if it's a good day. I just almost assume that I'm going to strike them out, and that just gives me the confidence to go out there and compete.
So walk me through like your pregame ritual. Do you have a superstition that you have? And baseball players are like, can't step on the line. Or
That's JP does the opposite of that. Every time he goes out to pitch, he drags his foot on the line, makes everybody mad. It's funny.
That's funny.
But every game, 2 hours before the game, I'll show up to the field. I eat fruit.
Okay.
Usually like a bowl of fruit with some yogurt. I'll drink an energy drink 30 minutes before. I listen to music the whole time. Start plyos an hour before. I take a hour and a half long nap before I go to the field.
Okay.
as long as it's not like the in-school game where I didn't have time to.
Yeah.
I'll listen to music. That's pretty much. I gotta be adjustable. Like I have to have a shorter routine sometimes not. I try to keep it consistent though. But a big superstition of mine is my socks. I love wearing colorful socks.
Okay. And you wear long pants though, don't you?
Yeah.
But then like when you follow through, I'm sure it shows everybody. So do you have a big collection of socks?
Yeah, I have a big collection of socks.
Okay.
SpongeBob socks, Rugrats socks.
Okay.
All sorts of socks.
So all like pop culture socks, like things that stand out. So describe your top 3 socks for me.
I got my powder blue Patrick socks.
Okay.
I usually wear that with our powder blue jersey. Those are my favorite ones probably. I got my pink SpongeBob socks I just got this year. And my favorite pair, it's a tough decision. I have a lot. Maybe these ones I have on right now.
Those ones? What is it about the socks? Is it the fact that like baseball uniforms or just whatever, and then finally it allows me to put my spice or my...
Yeah, it just lets me get like a little creativity.
Okay.
I've just been doing it for the last 2 years, and I've been doing good the last 2 years, so no point in stopping.
Now, are you one of those people if I do really good, I have to wear the same outfit? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
I am. Every game with the powder blue jersey, I've been wearing the same socks the last 2 years because of that.
Okay. Is your mom like the same way? I'm sure she's probably like you got to do that or...
Yeah, she was when she played, and she still is. It's pretty fun.
So, what are some challenges that athletes commonly face in the early stages of their career?
Me, personally, I had a big attitude problem. Like, when I would mess up, I would throw my bat or slam my helmet or something like that. That's a big part of what I had to really focus on in my younger career. But mostly confidence. You gotta believe in yourself, and because if you don't, you just have no chance. You might as well bank on yourself to win, and then just deal with it if you don't.
So what was it about? Do you know why you would slam and throw stuff? I know a lot of kids do that.
I don't know. I think I just had like anger issues. I worked on it. I'm a really calm person now, and I'm proud of that.
I just wasn't sure if it was like a frustration thing or like a...
Yeah, I think it was. I was just really a perfectionist, like I still am. I've learned to deal with it, but it was a big part. Like every time I mess up, I would just slam stuff. I really had an anger issue. Like I was easy to like make mad. I would fight a bunch of kids, but I fixed that.
Have you had any brawls on the mat? Have you ever had
We almost did 2 years ago when I was a sophomore on senior night against Grace Academy. People on our team were chirping our pitcher's mom, and then he almost got into a fight with one of them. It was pretty bad. That was a big incident.
Like they were talking about his mom?
Yeah.
Yikes.
And he was one of the type of guys that you don't want to mess with. He was a big guy and short temper. And the guy messing with his mom, he was like 5'4", 120 pounds. He would have got killed.
That's like Kevin Hart yelling at Shaq.
Yeah.
That's funny. And Kevin Hart would do that too. That's actually funny. So how do personal experiences outside of sports shape the way an athlete competes?
I think what you go through really shapes your whole life. It gives you, and if you handle it, you can use it to get a good mindset on your sports. If you've gone through struggle, you can use that as fuel to really try and compete.
What do you feel like has, outside of your anger issues, have you struggled or dealt with any external adversity that you've had to overcome or outside of injuries too?
Just, not really. It's mostly just injuries that I've been going through. That obviously drains on you mentally. I've had to go through some of that. But I really just, what helped me was I just turned my belief to God, and then it just makes it so much easier. It just takes all the pressure off my shoulders, really.
So when those injuries happen, like walk me through your mindset and just what you do outside, including God, to keep moving forward.
Okay. What I do to keep moving forward, I just have to sit for a little bit on it, really think, and then just I trust myself. I gotta keep reassuring myself, like, I'll get past this. It's a temporary injury, and I'll keep going on. I'll move forward. This is gonna be a speck in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Now, which one was worse for you? Was it the back or was it your arm?
It was my arm injury was pretty scary because your UCL is right here.
Yeah.
And I strained that, so that was pretty scary. Had some low ligament issues down here. That was a really scary moment in my life. I dealing with a huge injury that's like high school pitcher. That's probably a career-ending injury if you tear UCL.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a big wake-up moment. I gotta go get in the weight room. I gotta get stronger so this doesn't happen again. I gotta really focus.
Oh, so you use that as... That's when things pretty much transformed for you, almost in a way.
Yeah.
So you started going in the weight room, exercising.
Cause my junior year, I was 6 foot, 155 pounds, really skinny, and I had to use my body really violently to throw hard.
Yeah.
But that just ended up taking a toll on me. Didn't have much muscle. I've gained 40, 45 pounds, and haven't had any arm issues since summer.
Okay. So it's just really helped you. Did you I guess you gained velocity too as well, didn't you?
I'm not sure yet because I'm still getting back to 100%, but I'm sure I will eventually.
Okay. Now, I know with baseball, if you're a pitcher, everybody's, I throw 95 or I throw 91. How do you not let the numbers get to you and you just go out there and play your game?
Yeah, at the high school level, it's really not so much how hard you throw, because there's the prodigies that are going to throw 95 in high school, but you got to know that if it's not your time, it's not your time. Your time will come. Most people don't peak in high school. They're not going to already achieve their most physical form in high school. Like me, that's term all the college coaches use that I talk to, raw prospect. I have a lot of potential. So I got to trust that ability that I'm going to turn out how I want, and then just don't worry about it so much.
Okay. Now, with Fairmont, what ended up making you decide to go to Fairmont?
Their baseball coach, I really like him. He knows a lot about pitching. What made me choose Fairmont over similar schools or more prestigious schools, like some mid-major D1s. I really like the campus. It just fits me.
Yeah.
And what I want to do in college, they have good engineering programs. What I'm going into, one of the best ones in the state, and it just feels more like home.
Yeah.
I just like the vibe of the campus. I know I'll have fun there.
Yeah.
Even if baseball doesn't turn out and I don't go pro.
Yeah.
I'll have fun at Fairmont all 4 years, no matter what.
Now, is that your end goal, to go play professionally?
Yeah, eventually.
Okay. Now, MLB, or because I know you can get drafted and play in Division II, even Division III sometimes.
Yeah.
But MLB, or are you trying to play overseas?
Wherever it takes me, really. I just want to be able to play baseball as long as I can.
Yeah, I get that. I remember wanting to play. It's fun.
It is.
It's fun. Now, be careful, because I like the Yankees. What's your favorite baseball team?
I don't watch much sports.
Okay.
I mostly just play, but Nationals are my favorite team.
Okay, that's reasonable. They're not good. They're not terrible. Are they terrible?
They were terrible last year.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I haven't watched the game since Bryce Harper left.
I figured you were one of those Bryce Harper fans.
That's what brought me to be a Nationals fan.
Let's say, because if you said the Orioles, I was going to have to ask you to leave respectfully, because we don't cheer for the Orioles on this podcast. So, what lessons from your past have helped you succeed in both sports and in life?
Just the ability to take failure and defeat and just accept it, move on. I've really struggled with that in the past, but that's really been a big issue that I've had to fix, and that's been a lot better recently.
Now, I know with Spring Mills baseball, you guys have had rocky seasons in the past. how do you not let those, like the wins and losses, get to you? Now, what was your win and loss record these last like couple years?
When I was a freshman, I think we won 2 games. We went 2-28, some awful. Next year, my sophomore year, we went 4-26. Last year, we went 8-22, 8-20. And now this year, we're at a winning record, which hopefully continues. Mostly, we just trust our ability because sophomore year, we had a decent, talented team, but we didn't mesh at all. Like, didn't feel like a family, really. There was a few key outlier players that really brought the team morale down. Last year, our record was bad, but we had potential. We were a young team, and we just got along better than any other year. And that's really pushed us to want to be better this year and have hope that we'll be better in the future.
So, in your opinion, why is team morale so important? Why is it?
I'm not really 100% sure, but it definitely is important because I guess it's just nice to know that your teammates believe in you, and that pushes everyone to want to win more. And I've been on teams where people are fighting every day, and now this year where we're still finding our way, but it's a lot better. Like, we're more of a family now.
Okay.
But I don't know why it's so important, to be honest. But I guess as a pitcher, it's nice to know that all your teammates have your back, and they believe in you, and then you got to believe in them that they'll make the plays. Yeah. And then it just helps everyone out in the end.
Because there's moments when you're pitching where it's, you're on a roll, but then somebody commits an error. Yeah. How do you stop that from affecting your game?
You gotta, if you have a problem of blaming people, this guy just made an error. What is he doing? He just sold the game. You gotta think, why didn't you strike him out? You gotta, there's some young pitchers that I talk to, and that's what they think, and all just have to check their egos. Like, what, you can just strike him out. It's your fault too. You can't blame your teammates when everyone makes mistakes. Baseball is a game of failure. You're going to make mistakes. It's inevitable. So you just got to move on, go to the next batter.
I gotcha. So what strategies help athletes stay focused and confident under pressure?
I'm a really big fan of breathing. Just steady your breathing. Find a breathing like rhythm that suits you. I'm a big fan of that. You can listen to music before a game, get you in the right mindset. But I think that everyone should really, before a big moment, just take a deep breath, recollect your mind. Don't make the moment too big. You're just trying to do what you've done 1,000 times.
Okay. So you talk about music, you talk about breathing. Where did the breathing come from? Like, when did you develop that habit?
Last year or over the summer, one of them, I started looking into, like, researching different topics about how I can become the best athlete I can be, and I saw some articles about breathing, so I just started to implement it, and then it started working wonders, so I've been doing it ever since.
And then music. What's your go-to music to get you in the zone?
It's a lot different from my normal music taste. Okay. I usually, like, on a day-to-day basis, I'm a really calm person. I like listening to, like, jazz. Or just calming music. But game days, my mindset is to dominate and kill my opponent, basically. Yeah. So I really get into that mode. I'll listen to Baby Kia, King Von. Just, you wouldn't expect, like, me, if you knew me personally, you wouldn't expect me to listen. Just whatever gets me into that mindset to dominate. That's what I like listening to before.
I got you. Something that'll get you, like, upbeat, energetic, ready to just go, like, break through a wall, punch somebody in the face, whatever it is you got to do. Yeah. I get that. I 100% get that, because my typical music, if I'm just chilling, I call white girl music. Gets you Katy Perry, Taylor Swift. But then if I'm about to go into the weight room, or if I'm about to go interview an athlete, like, I'm turning on Meek Mill, Lil Baby, Gunna, them, just to get you in the zone.
I get that.
I get that. I 100% agree with that.
Back when I did play like the field, I didn't listen. That was really just reserved for my pitching. Like during when I used to play the field and hit, I would just listen to normal music.
Okay.
But I feel like pitching, you have to have more of a competitive edge. Well, at least for me.
Now, one thing that I did whenever I pitched is I would always listen to music. Or not listen to music. I would sing a song in my head. Do you do that when you're on the mound? Or
No, I like talking to myself a lot,
Okay.
though. I'll talk to myself about what my plan for this batter is. Talk to myself, just reassure myself, give me some motivational thoughts, and that type of stuff. But I don't really sing or whistle or anything like that. I know some people that do.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun to watch, but
now, when you're, let's just say you're on like a negative streak, a couple hits in a row, maybe a walk, maybe a hit by pitch, whatever it is, how do you shift your mindset so you can go back or either A, finish the inning, or B, flip back to that dominance?
I haven't had to really think about, like last year I didn't have that problem very much until I got hurt. This year it's been different. I've been struggling a lot more. I've had to go through adversity, and it's been more difficult, but I just got to take it one batter at a time, really.
Okay.
Like someone gets on base, I just got to let it go. My coach, Barrett, he always talks about being a goldfish. Just immediately forget everything that happens.
Yeah.
And I think that's good for if you do good, too. That kind of keeps your ego in check.
Not worry. So if I'm doing really well, don't worry about the fact that I struck out the last 15. Just be like, all right, next batter, new approach, or same approach. I get that. This episode of Royal Vision Podcast is sponsored by Trophies Plus here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. If you're looking for sublimated mugs, trophies, awards, or even embroidered hats, go to Trophies Plus in Martinsburg, West Virginia to go cop all those needs. So what role does self-talk and internal dialogue play in performance?
I like using it as a motivator and to tell myself that you got this, you're going to strike this kid out, like a reassurance. I like using that. I know I used to have to tell myself constantly, calm down. That's a big thing too. That can help. I think it helps with every aspect of the game. Like you can think, if you're up to bat, if you're hitting, you can think about, okay, I need to watch the fastball. But I feel like if you don't say it out loud, you don't really believe it. In life, I like telling myself things out loud. That really makes me believe what I'm saying, not just thinking it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So action, like physically doing it instead of just like thinking it, making it. Okay.
Like if I'm driving and I'm thinking like, okay, I gotta turn at this light in 5 minutes, I'll just forget it. So I gotta tell myself.
Okay. I had another question. I can't remember what it was. We'll have to end up coming back to it. But, what was it? It was something about on the mound. Yeah, we'll come back to it. Not a big deal. So, what are some mental habits you feel like separate the best athletes from the rest?
I know all the best athletes have a unwavering belief in themselves. I know that for a fact. If you don't believe 100% that you can do what you want to, you're not going to be able to. If I don't actually think I'm going to be able to go pro, I might as well just quit now.
Yeah.
So you got to really have confidence in yourself, really. That's the biggest thing that I've learned.
So, have there ever been moments when you're on the mound, let's just say they come up with a mound visit, they try to take you out. Do you have any control over, nah, you're not taking me out? Or
I don't really have any control over it. I have had some times, like last year, where I was like, don't take me out. I'm not sure if it influenced it or not, but I'm sure if I talk to my coach like in the dugout, usually we're on the same mindset, like we have the same idea.
Okay.
But I don't really think I have much control over that. I don't think I should have any control over it. That's the coach's decision, and I think my view of the situation is clouded by wanting to win and wanting to do good. If I'm already 12 strikeouts in, but I'm at 100 pitches, I'm going to want to go back out there. But it's not the right thing to do for my
That's
arm.
true. Because I'm trying to think, there's an MLB pitcher that Max Scherzer. He regularly hits like 130, 140, sometimes 150. Have you? What's the most pitches you've ever thrown?
In high school, it's a 115, 110 pitch count limit.
Okay.
But if you start another batter at 109, you can go until he's out. So last year, most of my games, I was like 112, 115.
Okay. So you're consistently getting through fifth, sixth inning sometimes.
Yeah. This year, my highest has been like 100.
Okay.
So my pitch count's been more down this year, but I'm still getting to like sixth, seventh inning of every game.
Okay. Now, in high school, do you feel like that's or at least with being like a college commit, do you think that's a thing where it's like committed, so now I just dial back a little bit?
Definitely, especially for pitchers. Like hitters or in other sports, you don't have to worry about that. But as a pitcher, you really got to be conscious about how many pitches you throw for your arm's sake. Like this year, my goal has been to keep my pitch count down, and it's been going good.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, being committed to college, I don't want to go out and blow my arm out again.
Yeah. So what are some common mental challenges that athletes face throughout their career?
Just reality checks, like you're not as good as you think you are. And that can really hinder your self-confidence, but you just really got to get through it and just keep believing in yourself. That's mainly what I think is probably the most challenging thing in every athlete's career.
So what was like the biggest reality check for you?
Probably this summer. Like we played a lot of teams from out of state and some really good teams. And in Legion, you can keep playing until you're done your freshman year of college. So you can be a sophomore facing like college freshmen. You can be facing 22-year-olds. And that just really, and struggling over the summer really made me think, okay, I got to believe in myself, but I'm not as good as I thought I was. I can't just get by with throwing just fastballs. I got to mix up everything. I got to pitch smart.
Okay. Now, you say you play for post 60. That's not, did post 14 change to post 60 or?
No, post 60, we just turned into a Legion team last year.
Okay.
It was the Knights, just the North Berkeley Knights for the last 2 years. But then we got a post, and we're really new.
Okay. Now, how is that? How do you feel like that has made you a better player compared to high school? Do you feel like it's about the same?
It's different. In high school, you mostly face the same kids like over and over. Especially if you're like number 1 or 2 pitcher on the team, you're mostly just going to face EPAC opponents. But in summer, you just face kids from all over the place. And you also face like kids from post 14. You face kids from New Jersey, kids from other states. It's a higher level competition just because there's college people. But I think both really have the same effect, but it's a little harder in the summer.
I gotcha. Plus you got like the heat so what's like the hottest? Is there a game that's been like super hot that you've had to pitch on?
Not in the recent years, but
Okay.
I remember when I was like in Little League, there was one game where it was a heat warning. It was like 105. It was crazy, like 110. That was crazy. But last couple years, I don't think so. I don't think it's gotten over 100 when we play. So it hasn't been that hot.
So what about, because I know around here sometimes it's like it snows in May.
Yeah.
So have you ever had to pitch in a really cold temperature, and like how do you show up and still compete at your highest level despite freezing your butt off?
Me, I just like thinking. I just try not to think about it. I just keep my mind off the cold and just focus on the game. But over this last winter, I went out and pitched in the snow a bunch, try to get myself ready for that. And I feel like it also builds like mental toughness to go and run or train in the snow.
Okay.
So that's helped and makes it easier.
So you run and you train in the snow? Let's just say we get a snow warning. I know this year got a lot of snow in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Got a foot of snow on the ground. What's your go-to training regimen?
I'll go to the baseball field. I usually get like a shovel or something
Okay.
to make a little like lane so I don't trip on the snow, like I don't
Yeah,
slip. I'll get a big net. Usually I'm by myself because nobody else wants to be out there.
Yeah.
Rylan went a couple times with me. A couple people come sometimes, but I'll just do my normal throwing. Then I'll go do some sprints. Then I'll run on the track. Not the track, but like the warning track at the baseball field. Run a few poles.
Yeah.
Get some dynamic warm-ups, stretches in. Just basic stuff.
Okay. Now, you talk about nobody's coming with you, but you're still going out there. What is it that, or should I say, there's a lot of people out there where if they don't have somebody with them, they won't go.
Yeah, I've had struggles with that in the past, up until like my sophomore year. When I started taking it more seriously, I'm starting to get better.
Yeah.
But when I was training before my junior year, I was going out throwing every day. Most of the time people wouldn't come, so I would go throw into a net. And I would just listen to music by myself. It's calming. I like it.
Okay.
I like being by myself training it. And it's more difficult than training with teammates because that just makes it more fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's really doing more of a difference when I train by myself.
So you feel like you're getting, I know there's results that you can get with teammates that you're not going to get by yourself, but
Yeah.
do you feel like you get a different result, or maybe you learn more about yourself by training by
Yeah,
yourself?
I learn more by myself. I get more satisfaction from it. I feel better. Like, I'm more proud of myself. Nobody wants to go out there, but I still did, and that makes me feel good. And reassures me that I can reach my goals.
Okay. Like you didn't need something outside of you in order to reach that goal. It's
Yeah.
like it's just all right there.
I have the power in me to do what I want.
That's good. That's good. So like those people that are afraid to go out and just do something by yourself, maybe go to the gym, maybe train for an hour or two, what would you say to them? What advice would you give to them?
I'd say look within yourself. Decide if you want to if you're in sports, decide if you want to take your sport serious and you want to go to the next level. And if you do, then you got to ask yourself, like, am I really doing all I can do to reach the next level? And if you're not, either do it or just accept you're not gonna. You just got to be harsh with yourself.
Harsh or just be real with yourself?
Be real with yourself.
Okay.
Am I doing all I need to do to achieve my goals? If I'm not, then either get it in check or, I don't know, just fail.
So external pressures, you got coaches, fans, family members, friends. How do those affect an athlete's performance, or how do you keep those noises out?
Last year, I felt like there was a lot of pressure on me, and that it didn't really hinder my performance very much, but it did over the summer, and I just had to learn that just no matter how much pressure's on you, no matter what the outcome is, you just gotta stay calm and keep going. Just do as much as you can do. Don't let, if your family is saying, "Oh, you can't, we don't want you unless you're a doctor. We don't want you unless you go pro." Just try and tune them out and just do what you can within your power.
Focusing on like your vision.
Yeah.
Not letting everybody like, oh, you have to do this or you have to be this.
Yeah.
Just keep your head straight. Now, has there ever been a moment where somebody said something that knocked you off? And in that moment, what did you do to shift back?
I can't remember any moment specifically like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's happened, but I'd say if that happens to you, just breathe.
Okay.
Just breathe and focus, and then just think about it, and then go to your outcome.
Okay. That's good, though, because that's something I do is sometimes I'll forget to breathe.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why am I so anxious?
Yeah. If I'm on the mound and I'm like, why is my blood going so fast?
Yeah.
Why's my heart beating so fast? Why am I nervous right now? And then I'm just like, I just need to breathe.
Yeah. Now, do you breathe through your nose or you breathe through your mouth more?
I guess it depends on how high my blood pressure is and how my heart rate is. If I'm like super amped up, I'll have to. But
Okay.
usually I'm just like a steady in through the nose, out through the mouth.
So do you feel like that's what gets you the best results when you're trying to calm down? Is you're trying to like...
I like to get to the point where I can get a steady breath in through the nose.
Okay.
And I feel like that's where I'm at my best.
That's good. I'm going to start using that. That's good. That's good. So how does an athlete's belief system shape their ability to perform at the highest level?
I think it definitely helps to have a belief system. Like, you can have whatever belief you want to have, but God and really helps me focus on my path. It takes the pressure off my shoulders a bit. It's okay. He has a plan, and He's given me my skill, my talent, and given me my passion. I just need to do what I can with it.
Okay. Has there been... So going through those injuries you talk about, you said you kind of lean towards God. Were there any moments of like doubt that kind of crept in, and how did you get the doubt out, I guess is what I would say?
Definitely a lot of doubt, especially when I hurt my arm last year. It was like, before I went to a doctor in Baltimore to check myself out, but before then I was like, oh man, I might have really messed myself up. I might never come back from this, but I just had to, I think reading the Bible really helps me connect with Him more and really calm me down. Like, I can just pray. Just pray. You don't even need to pray specific prayers. I like just sitting down or laying down at night and just like having a conversation with God one-on-one. That really helps me focus and calm down.
That's good. That's good. So, I know with baseball being your main thing, you've got, especially when school starts, 6-7 months before the season really kicks off. You got conditioning in like December, January-ish. How do you balance your personal life with your athletic life?
My athletic life is most of my life, to be honest. But my personal life, I like to just be kind to people. I want people to when they think of me, I have a positive impact on their life. I want to make other people's lives better just by being a positive influence in them.
Yeah.
And that's really what I'd really try and do. If I see a stranger, if I see a freshman in school that looks sad or something, I'll just try and cheer them up. I just try and be a positive influence on people, and that's what helps me.
Now, do you have a hobby that you stick to?
Not really. I like pitching.
Okay, because you're in yearbook, right? I wasn't sure if you took pictures on the side or if...
No, not really.
Okay.
It's a fun class though, but if there was volleyball around here, I might have played volleyball instead of baseball. That's how much I love volleyball. I love it. It's so fun.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at it for never playing.
Yeah.
But my hobbies, I don't really have any hobbies really. I'll watch anime from time to time.
Okay.
I've been doing that since I was 8. That's mostly what I do in my free time if I'm not recovering or something like that.
So, I know there's a lot of people that really like anime. What is it about anime that
I don't know. It's just I got into it when I was young and sticked. Yeah. I've always liked cartoons. It's not like that's the only thing I watch. I just like watching everything that I like personally.
I wasn't sure if there was a hidden message in anime that really draws you to it. If it's just, I got all these fireballs and demons, whatever, and they just get slayed. I don't know.
No, not really.
Okay.
I just like watching what I like to watch, and I have for a while. Even when I was in middle school, I was one of the kids Naruto running in the hallways.
Okay.
And
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I had these 2 best friends, I remember. They moved away after middle school, but they were a pretty weird bunch. They would watch the more stereotypical ones that you would really judge people for.
Okay.
I don't even know how to explain it without being inappropriate. It was bad.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Like those hentai ones or whatever.
They would always try to get me to watch it, be like,
oh,
I'm okay.
I'm good. No, thank you. That's funny. Hey, but you're having fun. You're having a blast. That's all that really mattered. That's good. So if I was to watch, let's just say an introductory anime, what should I watch?
What do you like? What kind of shows do you like personally? Like action, mystery?
I like a good comedy. I like some action. So my top favorite movies are I like Marvel movies. I like The Fast and the Furious. I like Transformers.
Okay.
So something that like fits into that.
I
And then I
think
also like chick flicks. So
an easy one is like Fire Force or Demon Slayer because they just look really cool and there's
Okay.
a bunch of action. Psyche K, it's a comedy and
Okay.
it has action. It's cool. I say if you like more of a mystery story,
okay.
Death Note's really good.
All right.
That was one of the first ones I watched and I loved it.
All right. I'll look into that. Or what are they, like 20-minute episodes?
Yeah, they're 20-minute episodes.
But then they have like hundreds of episodes. Okay. I'll give it a shot. All right. Good job, Jacob. You just got Coach Matthew to check out anime. There we go. All right. So, what impact do athletes have beyond their sport, and how can they use their platform effectively?
Beyond their sport, does that count as like other younger people that also play your sport?
It could, yeah. It's really just about how you use who you are and your platform to influence people in a positive way.
If it's like social media platforms, I don't really use mine very much.
Mm.
I don't post very much. I would like to get into that, make
Mm.
an account to like motivate younger people. That'd be cool eventually. But I just need to focus on being the best person I could be right now. It's already hard enough.
Hey,
But-
it happens.
I know, like, you have a big influence on 8-year-olds, people that play baseball that are younger than me and that watch me play.
Yeah.
I like to sometimes, like, you just really need to be a good role model.
Okay.
You just need to make them want to love the game and make them want to be just like you.
Now, has there ever been a moment where you had a younger kid approach you and ask you for advice, or did you ever give him any advice?
Yeah, there's been a couple moments like that. I just try my best. I feel honored when it happens.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
feel flattered. Like, I don't think I deserve it personally, but when that happens, it's a really cool moment. And I just try to give them the best advice I can, especially if they're like have similar experiences as me.
Yeah.
There's some kids that like moms have talked to me. They've had some like attitude problems.
Okay.
And I'm trying to help. I've been trying to help them, or some like my parents' friends or old like parents that know me. They'll try and help me teach their kid how to throw. It's really fun. It's an honor.
Has there been, or is there a moment that stands out to you to the most where it's like a kid came up to you and you feel like you really changed his life?
There was no like young kids,
Yeah.
but some like freshmen, 8th graders. I don't want to shout names, but there's this one kid that I was really close with, and he was dealing with some mental problems,
Yeah.
like real serious mental problems because of his sport,
Yeah.
because of baseball, and I just helped him realize that's not all there is to life.
Yeah.
Like, life is, I love baseball. That's basically my whole life. But I got to realize that's not all there is in life. I have a life outside of baseball. I have influences on other people that I
Mhm.
want to be positive. And I tried and help him with that. And he's doing better. And I'm really proud of him. And it makes me feel pretty good.
That's good. That's good. So if you didn't have baseball in your life, where do you think you'd be at this point?
Honestly, don't know. I would have played some sport.
Yeah.
I would have played something. So I don't think it'd be that different. I don't think I'd be as good at any other sport. I'm pretty athletic. I'd be good at like basketball.
Yeah.
But if I played football, I would just get injured too much. I'm already getting 5 injuries a year on just sitting there throwing the ball.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'd be pretty good at basketball, but I don't think I'd be like getting like high college coaches talking to me in any other sport. But if I didn't play any sports, I don't think I would be as good of a person. I have a really good family. Like my grandmother, she's an amazing person. Nicest lady I've ever known in my life. I still think I'd be a genuinely kind person, but I would encourage anyone to put their kids in sports. It just shows you so many like life lessons, and it's just so valuable to me.
Yeah.
What it's done to my life.
For real. I don't think I'd be where I'm at without sports. Honestly. Even like now, like there are parents that force their kids to play sports.
Yeah, that's different, but you don't have. It doesn't have to be sports. Like they
Yeah.
could have a music passion. I
Yeah.
think as long as your kids are passionate about something, I think they'll turn out right.
Like an extracurricular, something that's because like baseball's in a way your hobby,
Yeah.
except you're just really good at it. So it's like that's a good thing about hobbies though. So life after sports. I know you're not going to be done playing baseball anytime soon. What challenges do you feel like would come with that transition?
It'll definitely be a lot different. Just not being able to go to the clubhouse every day. I don't have a clubhouse now because I'm in high school,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
eventually I won't be able to go. I'll still hang out with my teammates and everything. After I'm done playing, I want to be involved at some level. If I do go pro, my plan would be to go be a pitching coach with
Yeah.
if I'm in a good financial situation, really low prices, try and help kids as much as I can, give back to the community, maybe coach some kids at Spring Mills.
Okay.
But the challenge would definitely be just not doing what I love every day.
Yeah.
Like that's really fun to me. It's my favorite thing about life. Just being able to go use what talent God's given me and just go play every day and just have fun doing it.
So do you think like an issue that happens with athletes is you're playing a sport first 13, 14 years of your life, and then when it's done, do you feel like you almost lose your sense of self, your sense of purpose?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a problem with I have some friends that they're probably going to be done after this year. Like they don't have any like college offers or anything.
Yeah.
And it's been hard for them. But again, you just got to realize sports isn't all life gives you. You
Yeah.
know? And you just got to be the best version of yourself you can be with or without whatever sport you like.
So it's almost like your purpose is always there, but it's about finding a way to use whatever it is as an outlet for your purpose, whether
Yeah.
that's in the sport
Like
or outside the sport.
if you were as passionate about if you're passionate about baseball like I am, you would need to focus your passion into a different aspect of life.
Okay.
Go get a job you really go start a family. Just get something to where you can put that passion into. Cuz I know if I couldn't play baseball after college, there'd be a big hole like in my life that I would
Yeah.
need to fill with something.
It's true. Very true. Because that was my biggest thing. I lost, because I played basketball, played baseball for 13, 14 years of my life. And then you get to a point where it's like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Because it's like you're bored. Because it's like, can't go to the field every day.
Yeah.
Can't go to the court every day.
That's definitely going to be a tough day to come when it does.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for you that it doesn't come anytime soon.
Yeah.
I hope you have a successful MLB career. Play for the Yankees. They just changed. You have your long hair, so you get to keep your long hair.
That's good enough.
Now, who's your favorite pitcher? I know you don't watch a lot of professional sports, but who would you say your favorite pitcher is?
Definitely Max Scherzer.
Okay.
He played for the Nationals
Yeah, yeah.
whenever I started becoming a fan of baseball. I've watched some videos that he has said you gotta make sure you have. So I like to think of it as like an alter ego almost. Like when I'm on the mound and me as a person, like two completely different people. I've had a little bit of trouble with that this year, just with injuries, just
Yeah.
trying to get my head in that space again. But when I'm on the mound, I'm there to dominate. I'm there to do everything in my power to make that team win. And it's almost like a different person than me in real life. And he really exemplifies that. He's insane.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's like when you're out, when you're with people, it's like you're Jacob.
Yeah.
But then when you step on that mound, you flips or switch flips, and it's like showtime.
Yeah.
I'm the man. That's good. So for you, outside of winning championships or winning trophies, accolades, what does success look like for you?
Success, being able to play baseball every day. That's what I am really thankful for. And a big part of success to me is on a game-to-game basis, my team winning.
Yeah.
That's the biggest success that can happen. But just going out and having fun, having a good season, high team morale. That's a successful season to me, no matter what the record is.
Yeah.
Like last year, we were 8-22, but it was a successful season
Yeah.
because we got better from last year.
Yeah.
Team morale was up. Everyone was close. We all learned a lot of things. That was successful in my opinion.
So that growth from your freshman, sophomore year to junior year,
Yeah.
the growth was like the success in a way. That's good. So how do you feel like an athlete defines their legacy, and what do you personally want to be remembered for?
Off the field, I want to be remembered as a kind person that gives back to the community, and that's basically it. On the field, I want to be remembered as a good player. I love the game. I want to be remembered like I gave it my all, no matter what happens at the end of the day. And that I want to inspire younger people that bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Put all your cards in the right place and then hope it turns out.
No plan A or no plan Bs, no plan Cs, just like, this is my plan, let's do it.
Yeah. Like I have a plan B, but I love engineering's fun, but it's not as fun as baseball.
That's very true. There's a way you can incorporate engineering into baseball with those biomechanics, and so like you could end up maybe designing the next, I don't know, something that helps pitchers with like injuries or something like that.
I don't know, maybe I could make a robotic UCL for Tommy John.
Something like that. Or you could be pitching, be in the pro leagues, and you could be designing this with your engineering degree on the back end.
That'd be pretty fun.
That'd be cool. So for the next generation of athletes striving for greatness, looking to make it to the next level, what advice do you have for those?
Bet on yourself. You have to have confidence. You got to believe in yourself if you want to make it anywhere. Like, I didn't have much confidence last year. I was really anxious.
Yeah.
And after that first game, I was like, oh, I can do this. It gave me a big self-confidence, and that helped a lot. Now, I have college offers, and I have a successful plan for my future, and it's all because I just believed in myself. You just need to believe in yourself and see where it takes you.
For sure. Always believe in yourself, kids. Always bet on yourselves. All right, that's all the time we have here. This has been the conclusion of episode 11 of Royal Vision Podcast with Jacob Cumley, Coach Matthew. Peace out. Love you guys. Go check out Jacob on May 2nd at Hedgesville.